Hi everyone, Evelyn here. I have my abbreviated twin flame read on the table for you guys today, as well as one of my messages of the day. I was just seeing if there was a message coming up for you guys, and all I was getting was, remember I received a message with the character Mario, you know, the character with the belly and the nose and the big mustache. And today I was getting like a female counterpart to that Mario, and she was cartoony, but she was much more laid back, and she had short black hair like to match him, and she was very laid back walking, just very comfortable with herself. And I'm not sure why she's coming up, but that might mean something to someone out there. So again, a counterpart to Mario. So maybe some of you might know a Mario out there. Let's go ahead and take a few deep breaths. This is my F bowl. I'm not sure how in tune it is, but let's see how it does in my hand. Let's go ahead and take a deep breath. One more deep breath. And one more deep breath. Sending lots of love and blessings out to everybody. I hope you're having a beautiful day. It really is beautiful here today. It's a little bit cool, but it's beautiful and sunny. And yeah, it was so nice to just sit for a moment out in the sun when I was out back with Teddy today. Really beautiful. Thank you for being with me today. I'm going to roll the die, see where we're going here. It's 3:38 on the clock, which is the Empress and the Queen of Cups. And today's energy is the, where are we today? We're the 24th today, which is, 24 is really significant because it's Omega and it's the symbol of enlightenment. And Queen of Wands is today, as well as the Two of Cups. So I did post something of the Two of Cups today on my Instagram, so you can check that out if you want. And again, that energy of Omega, I believe someone has assigned 24 to the Pleiades as well. It's also the 2 and the 4, which are like the spaces between 1, 2, 3, and then 3, 4, 5. There's this energy of space between. And it is the 24-6, which is the reflection of 42-6, which is the other number that came up today. So 24 and 42, actually, which is my mother and father. My mom's soul number was 24, and my dad's soul number was 42, and my sister and I are both 42 outer personality numbers. So there's something significant. It's a very motherly energy, the 42, in addition to being that Two of Cups energy of 1-to-1. That 6 is not just of the lovers, but of love, family, community. And of course, it's the 6th house, which is that day-to-day work life type of energy. And I am Virgo, that's my house. So let's see where the dice are going here. See if my mom and dad are popping up in the messages today. My Gemini parents. Here we have the, this is Mars. So we have Mars, right? So that could be Aries or Scorpio coming up right there. We have the number 10, which is, for me, it's the Wheel of Fortune, and Libra energy is assigned to that for me. It's also October, which is also Libra going into Scorpio, which is where we're right now. And again, the now moment coming up in the middle here. And then we have Leo here. So Leo and Mars. And Scorpio and Leo are both fixed, but Aries is also cardinal, and so is Libra. So a lot of fixed cardinal energies right here. The space between and where we are in the now moment right now, moving from Libra into Scorpio. I guess we're in Scorpio now, right? It's the 24th. And this, I just noticed this arrow is pointing towards the 10 of destiny. The destiny is towards the middle, towards the center. And then the energy of Leo, of the child, and of leadership. Cardinal and fixed. Something, I don't know what the aspecting right now is astrologically, but there may be some significant cardinal energies out there that are now fixed for the time being, which is like a good thing as opposed to something being fixed as in stubborn. Like they're staying for a while. And again, we have Libra and Aries cardinal, Leo, and Scorpio fixed. And Leo and Scorpio have been coming up a lot in the messages when I pull cards as well. So let's see where else we're going here. All right, so first we're going to do the message of the day. All right, so we have the Journey of Love, and then my Metatron deck. And then we have the Energy deck down here, and then Nature's Whispers at the bottom there. For those of you who are new, the left energies are the underlying energies, the bottom of the deck. I usually pull 3 cards, and then any additional cards that come out are for numerology reasons and to finish off the storyline there for each deck. All right, so this was from the 22nd and the 23rd on the table. Okay, so this 22nd read was done from 2:28 to 2:32. I did post another video abbreviating some of this initial energy regarding the 144 and the numbers 1, 2, 3, which we'll get into just briefly here as I go through them. 228 is the 2 of the feminine. It's the higher self, the high priestess, the duality, and the mediator, right? So both ends of the spectrum come up with the 2. And the 28 of the choice of path, or the twin flames, is the journey of love. Then 29, the 3 of wands, is the Metatron deck, being very present in the now moment. The 30 of union with the energy deck. And 32 came up with nature's whispers, which is the journey. And the journeyman, bringing in the good news. So the cards at the end of each deck came up as 2-1-1-1, but also 3-1-1-1. And 1-1-1 for me is that energy of co-creation, right? Because the 1 is not just the 1, it's also an arc. It's the 2 dots with an arc between, right? There are no really straight lines. And the 3 has been coming up as the bird soaring on the horizontal pillar. So we have the co-creation. The 2 and the 3 have also been coming up as, and this came up with this message today, sometimes it doesn't come up as the masculine 1 and the feminine 2, but source as 1. And then the masculine and feminine is 2 and 3, which is very interesting, right? The high priestess also can be the higher self. So it'd be like all the feminine aspects from source to the number 2, which would be the higher self as the masculine, but in his feminine higher self energy, and then going into the empress. And again, grounding that energy into the feminine, but also the horizontal pillar there, right? So the 1 being that source pillar, the 2 in the space between, the higher self, and then the 3 is the grounded energy here. So let's see here. It came up, I did look up gematria, and 2-1-1-1 came up as Jesus. So, I-E-S-O-U-S. So Iesus, Christos, Theous. So it's T-H-E-O-U, and then Y-I-O-S, and then Soter, S-O-T-E-R. I'm not sure what that means, but some of you might know what that means. It might not mean anything, I don't know. The second entry was God, JC, died for my sins, JM. The third entry was fake world news. Then the fourth was she is the female creator of everything. And then I looked up 3-1-1-1. And the first entry was NPIISEJUST, just. IHWPMUSJIB. The second entry was B, we are going back home. Love finally, KGJC. The third entry was all that is, sovereign to all returns now. The fourth was the witnesses have arrived. Amen. So the high priestess or higher self and co-creation coming up with that 2-1-1-1. The empress with co-creation as well. The 1 to 2 to 3 of the leap to fly. From God, the child to God, the connection, the higher self, so coming top down from source to higher self to the empress or abundance, which is also relates to Mother Nature, the earth itself. So also too can relate to the human in between source energy and the planet. Okay, so you see how things can be seen in different perspectives. So then the symbolism I showed you on that prior video I'd posted yesterday, where instead of the elements 1, 2, 3, 4 and ether being the fifth collective energy of the 4 elements, like raising that, to a higher level, the 4 symbols of 0, 1, 2, 3 were coming up today, but the same kind of energy where the 0, 0, 1, 2, 3 come up as the collective 4. Because source 0 is really the source energy, but also could be seen as the 1, but the 1 is actually the 2 dots of the 1 dot leaping or arcing to the 2nd dot. So the singularity of the 0 with the dot in the middle comes up as 0, the 1 of 2 dots, then the Q is the 2, or the singularity including the 1. Right, so these are like a collective, this plus this equals this, which is the Q, because 2 script looks like a Q. And then we get to the 3, which is the rolling stone, 3MEW, which then becomes a package or a window with the AE or ash or bright light on top, which is then the collective 4. And the toppings, you can go into the specifics about that, but Adam's Eve is his equal or even. Adam's apple is his word, but the L added to word, which then becomes world, the L is the lambda or lambda father leap, completes his word, becoming the world. And then the number 4, as I always tell you, is my lambda leap because it's L and 1 together, where then this little reference was coming up here as this is the source energy coming down to connect on the ground, and then leaping back by the human going back to 0 point in the center, and then finding their way back to source without having to die now, though. The lambda leap, the lambda father, and then the father, we come in as a child, so the father to the lamb and the mother, and then as we grow up, we become the innocent adult, being able to go then leap back to source again. So the 1 of the bridge in the child, the 2 of the middle of the bridge in the mother, and then the concept of the 3 flying back to source via another dimension, where the 4 is the whole package. Like ether is 5 for 1, 2, 3, 4, the 4 elements, with bright light that tops it off outside our realm. The 3 and 4 come in as a pair to come full circle in the rolling stone path of 1. The 3 is the key that opens the first iPad lock, or the cave, or the lower system, and this is where I went into explanation about my 144 numbers related to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, which is literally the 1 of source energy leaping in to the first pod of 2, 3, 4, 5, or the lower chakra system I was getting when I posted that last video, and then the upper chakra system being that 6, 7, 8, 9, or the 6, 9, 8 pod, with the 7 being the key. The lower pod is the 3 being the key. Sometimes I can get messages that the 4 is the key there. It depends on the message coming through. But here's the first section is called the iPad lock, because they're funny, and the upper section being the iPod lock. The iPod lock. And luck is coming up for whatever reason. The 7 being the next key to open after the 3 key that opens the first iPad. Then the 7 opens the iPod, the 698 iPod, the 2 peas in a pod. The next generation, which is the 4 of Atlas and the 4 of Hercules, which is then the 1 leaping to the 4 and 4, which is 8, which is the leap to infinity and beyond. And then we get this setup of the 10, right? Because we go from the 1, source coming in, which is really source, to the 1, and then this pod, and then this pod, and then they all add up to 45, but then the 45 down here ends up going back to the 46, which ultimately is then the next cycle, the 10. We go from the 1 through 9 cycle into the next cycle, which begins with 10 again. That's the transfer into the next cycle, whereas the 01 is the leap into this world in the first place, which also then comes up 1-4 and then 4-1, which is 1 for all and all for one. The 1 for all is the whole with a W, and then all, AWL, is the whole maker for 1. So it's very interesting that the first pod has 2, 3, 4, 5, which the 45 is the purge. 23 is not only the King of Wands, and this year, going in next year, 24, which is that Omega of enlightenment, but 23 is also the number of pairs of chromosomes that we know about, right? Not including the 24th etheric pair of chromosomes, which will probably be more reflected next year as we go into 2024. So the 45 of the 1 through 9 added up, which equals 45, then going into the 10 of 46, the 6 of Cups, loving inner children in the next cycle. The 5 being then between 4 and 6, being in the middle, which references freedom, change, and expansion, and the master of the hidden house, the Hierophant, the space between time out. There's been a lot of talk about the reference and association between electric and magnetic, as in thoughts are electric and then your feelings coming back are the magnetic. And again, surrender and allow coming up a lot. Surrender is that giving up, whereas the allow is coming up as all low down or all down. Give up, all down. There's always that push and pull, the give and take, the play between the 1 and the 2, or the duality or dualistic nature of our planet. So we have at 342 is the Empress, the 42 is the 2 of Cups, of 2111, 3111, comes up the High Priestess or Higher Self or Divine Feminine concept, co-creating and then flying in that co-creation. The world, justice, and alignment of 2 and 1 aligning, and then 3 and 1 aligning, the Divine Feminine's higher self, or the Divine Masculine's higher self, aligning with Source, and Mother Nature aligning with Source as well. The 2 plus 1 and the 3 plus 1, each align with Source, and then become the 3 and 4 together. The 3 key to the Rolling Stone gift, with the ash or bright light on top, to the 69/8 pod, 2 P's in a pod, which comes up as PP, 2 P's, which then comes up as PP or urine. So then urine came up with Uranus, because they both talk about the way we get rid of the food through our body. So urine was coming up as you are in equality. You are, I am Christ, equally. All my children. Don't forget Uranus, of course. You are I-N-E, E-T, and anus. The I-N-E is the 4. Water, I, the jaguar, the family crest, and the given name. The in as an inside, the in as the inn hotel, and then Friday as well was coming up. And the word anus actually means ring. And then nous, N-U-S, means thread, string, knot or tie. Core, heart, bond, knuckle. And then new is new, but also remainder and leftovers have been coming up a lot this week. Grandparents, we, us, squid, brother, and nose. And the brother is coming up as known by sister from her perspective. So you are 4. You are the jaguar, which also can come up as the tiger. You are the emotions or the water of I am. In the in, and TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. Thank God I am digamma, right? Or 2 gamma waves, twin flames, 2 waves of mother's game, Ma's game, twin flames. At 4:43 to 4:44 then here is you are ring, and anus also is the anus, which reference is an Anunnaki reference. At 4:43, the brother's nose, and the reference was coming up regarding my brother for whatever reason. And his name is Dan, but that brings up the Dan tribe as well. I'm losing my voice, so someone not speaking up. But also Mel Brand was coming up this week for me. And actually his personality reminds me of a little bit of my brother. They're very forthright with what they want to say. The Anu is not only Anunnaki, but it's 1 hip dog year birthday and medium house. And the now moments come up here. To be cold and scold, express anger of unknowns or unmentionables. When cold, expressing anger, the genital organs coming up, that those name went left bird, bend, arm, pit, and well, and now at this moment. The unmentionables and was coming up relating to the genitalia. You are and again going back to Uranus and Uranus, you are a silver cord, heart core, bonded knot, lots of new or news, and lots of leftovers. Babies or grandparents, we, us. You are a brother according to sister, and the nose knows. So there's this relationship of connecting the noses here. So also been a lot this week coming up as the reciprocity between grandparents and grandchildren, or the lineage here, or bringing them together to help each other out. So the energy of the urine as you are in E, which E is also that 1 equal and congruent to, but the PP, and you are in G, because Uranus also comes up as ING, and that's in God, but also comes up as PP. You're in E, the 1 equal and congruent to poo-poo. You're in G, or God, where then the chakra notes were coming up. If you start with C at the root and earth, the sacral water as D, the solar plexus fire E, the heart air F, which F was the bowl that I was using, the ether as throat, and the third, and G, and then the third eye was coming up as the note A and ESP, the crown being B of thought and pure light and consciousness. And again, the sharps and flats come in between those energies. So it was interesting because I always used to call my dad Poopy as a term of affection, right? There was a word I'd come across that means popish, and so I used to call my dad Poopy. I wasn't calling him poop, right? It was just a term of affection. But here God was coming up as Poopy, as poop and pee. The energy of 1 equal and congruent to 2 peas in a pod, or the PP, which equals the astringent pods of poo and pee. And there were some other definitions that were coming up regarding PP with an E and PP with an I. And one of the definitions was interesting because it was proton and proton. Some kind of collision between protons or interaction here, the percentage point. And for me, PP can be people as well. So this energy about the human body and what it naturally does physically as far as transmuting energies. And the urine was coming up as the PP and the ing. So you are in E as PP, and then you are in G comes up as poop. So again, bringing up the notes of the chakra system and seeing what you might want to work on. But yeah, just look up the notes of the chakra system. And there may be a site for you that might explain to you some of the issues. At each energy point. Something I'd read, and I forgot to write down the website, so I just don't want to get into it too much, but the high blood pressure came up as a weak immune system. So perhaps just getting more in tune with understanding the tones, because sound is very important for us. At 521, the Hierophant and the World, with the underlying energy being the 54, the Page of Swords, the 25 of the Knight of Wands of Passion, and the 29 of the World, the 26 of Be True to Your Heart, and the way the numbers were coming up in the cards was 54252926, which the 5 and the 5 with the 42 between is the 2 of Cups, which came up today, and 2 Hermit, 2 Lovers. The Page of Swords and the Knight of Wands, present to or gift for the Page of Wands, right? So we have the Page of Swords and Knight of Wands, present to or with a gift for perhaps the Page of Wands, the Earth Angel and lighting a fire under them to get out of the world, to get out the word rather, plus L, if you dare, the world, left at right angle, to be present to the earth, the world from an outside perspective, a gift from the stars, which is Elena Danan's book, and that for whatever reason the name of her book keeps coming up in reference to the messages here. But then Newton's cradle came up again, and instead of neutrons coming up, Newton's cradle was bringing up new tons, as in protons. So new protons, where the cradle broke down to C, RA, and DLE, which is the whispering bench, the bridge of the C of Christ consciousness, the RA of the ray, and the DLE, which means per or according to, and the accordion also came up, which is that energy of suspended animation. The Christ consciousness ray, the 3-ray, the golden ray, and the accordion, which the chord is right in the middle of the accordion, and the ing remembers is the energy of to wobble, so the earth's wobble in an accordion effect. Alternating chords or currents, blue and gold, the hand that rocks the cradle, but light as a feather when the bough breaks and falls. Phased array of new protons entering 3-world construct to see what they could see coming out the other end, as now they're relating food going through us as Newton's cradle, right? So you pull the one ball, it hits the 3 balls in the middle, and then the vibrations cause the final 5th ball to then have an equal and opposite reaction to the first ball. So the new pros are like the cardinal signs, the 3 in the middle are fixed, and then the one on the end is like the runner grabbing the baton, it's the messenger, coming in, pushing out the old pros or grandchildren and grandparents, vibrating them loose, perhaps to poop and pee out. 2 peas in a pod or 2 holes in one, as the earth angel with a passion for life to blanket the ethers from off-planet perspective. Be true to your heart, which the HEART is heart, earth, ether, wreath, and terra. And they were coming up as associations with the different elements. And of course, ether is ether. But also, the ether means ring. And the ring of fire, which references, what are the references, is the eclipses coming up right now, right? We just had the the new moon eclipse, and we're going into the full moon eclipse on the 28th. And the energy of the ring of fire was coming up as the wreath, because that's will reference the fire element, and then ether comes up as the collective of all, coming up as Terra, earth, heart, wreath, and ether. Terra was coming up as airy, and earth, of course, is earth, and then heart was coming up as water, where note-wise it would come up as air. So it's just interesting the way they were coming up from different perspectives. Through the ring of fire, 4 and 5 simultaneously collapse into one. The gift of the 698 pod of the 2 P's, poo and pee, solid and liquid, to make mud or clay from ashes of bright light, the stardust that you are. You are compost, just as the earth. When you meld together under pressure for a long, long time, the pee-pee becomes people. And I love how they bring up these references. That was so cool. This was at 5:48, the Hierophant and the 8 of Cups, walking away with him. The lion's heart's serious gift to inspire the messengers of Lyran Pleiadian descent. The underlying energy of the 56, the 2 of Swords, and the dance of the planets hand in hand. The 33 that God speaks, and his dream girl extends a graceful hand. Knowing of Christ consciousness and her grace, granting wishes, 33 to 34. I don't know why. Now Mario and the character I saw as his counterpart today are coming up as my mother and father. Now I have no Italian, and Mario and his counterpart are very Italian-like. But my parents both had dark hair. My mother's hair was short, and my dad had a significant nose. And my mother came off as very easygoing. It's just interesting that they're coming up as cartoon characters for me now. And her Grace granting wishes, my mother's middle name was Grace. And my father's name was Constantine. And we said consciousness and her grace. So Constantine and Mary Grace were coming up. Granting wishes, 33 and 34, which is the Christ consciousness and the energetic exchange between, becoming together with arrows of love, 2 in their knowing. God speaks through her grace, becoming earth angel, mercurial messenger, standing up to star as she reaches back, becoming water, meadow, and house. To wobble, to swing, to bend and curve, the ink and pen, the tooth and nail, as earth shifts. Here, so again the sound is coming up here. Here with the ear, which is in the earth, right, to the nth degree. One who gels, the angel. The bee is coming. Angel's honey. At 6 o'clock, right on the nose, is the double zeros of source energy backing up the 6 of the lovers. The first card out was the Christ flame of 31 and the chaos of life as the messengers. And notice we're talking about compost, and that our bodies are actually compost, just like the earth. We're made of stardust, right? We're recycled energy, basically. But also it's the same energy when in your lineage, right? So your children are extensions of you, right? We all get recycled through the system there. So it's coming up as Newton's cradle, right? Whereas the leader goes through the fixed energies to the messengers on the other side of the mountain, so to speak, and then they take the baton and run with it, right? But they're just an extension of the original. So there's all that energy coming into that same message of that compost pile, that we're all recycled energy. As messengers pull up the blankets here with the Christ flame, this Christ flame card comes up as something, very difficult, the harsh part of Christ and the crucifixion. As the messengers pull up the blankets in the ethers and wash the sheets or screens like wipers, clearing the mud slung on your vision, or in other words, the chaos of life. And now the messengers are coming up to pull up the blankets and wash the sheets or screens, so cleaning the fields. And 6 is also coming up as right in between, right? The 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. And then we get to the 6 p.m. So this is the 369 reference to the day of crucifixion. As we get to the 48 of the 8 of Cups and the man of earth, woman of the sky, the ear to the nth degree, again, the sound with the sound, and Sophia's KY, which is the energy of 0 point field. Walking away and within, away of the water bearer, and the inn, as the ladies or Rapunzels all lay their hair down for him to see the light at the end of the tunnel. So again, the ash on top is coming up as the hair that really lights up for the masculine to see at the end of the tunnel. The 19 of the sun, the Shakti sun, which is the feminine Hindu Shakti sun, her firing up home base with plasma ether, a shock of source, sun, time out. You are the shock ray, the chakra, the shock ray. The source is shock T. T also means source. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, right? The last note with jam in bread. Jam in bread. Jesus am in bread, right? Because we're all family. We're all compost. The 31, 48, and 19 equals the 3 cards that came out, also 98 degrees of separation, my friends, of that human body temperature. So the 70 of heaven, the 27 of ethereal touch, the ether, which I'm spelling it right now as the match to heart, which is EATHR, real, the ether that is real, heaven to touch. The avenue of Christ, or the dancing fool, the jester's court, is heaven on earth. Ethereal, which is ET, her, Ea, L, her inspiring the ethereal touch of 2UCH, to you, the C, which is the bridge, the whispering bench, the Christ consciousness of H, which is just the horizontal of I, or I am. So if I is source energy, then the H is us humans on the horizontal path. The 37, which is the King of Cups and unconditional love, but also the 3 keys of alchemy, is coming up here as the 3 and the 7 keys. The 3 keys of alchemy, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces, which come up as CAP or caps. The man with a yellow hat, George's crowning achievement, right? As George is the monkey, his crowning achievement as the man with the yellow hat, crowning, right? Coming into enlightenment. At 613 is spiritually connecting with me. The 6 of the lovers, the 13 of transition of fire and ice. The lovers transition, where the fire is fur-y, and ice is coming up as ice-y, or the inner child. The furry man, right, coming from the apes, and then the inner child of the human, both equal and congruent to the next. Digamma, or 2 gamma waves, I ray, E at the solar plexus, and inner child also E, 1 equal and congruent to the Queen's Gambit. 2 pawns in 1. 2 game bits in the hero's game 1. And, which is also Andromeda, in the middle of fiery or furry and icy is and, the A-N-D, which equals E-T in French, the plus sign, and Andromeda, pegged as US, as Pegasus, of course, and Andromeda share a star, holding hands, they're hand in hand. Pegged as us, or US, as Rome wasn't built in a day, you know, well, from the human perspective anyway. As Perseus, a.k.a. Perzeus, who nothing got past, I Zeus, je Zeus, Jesus. Geez, it's us, the Holy Grail of Sophia, the sine wave, the salt of the earth at 621 of the lovers in the world. Are you deaf? Because she is the ear to the nth degree. She hears all of Af, deaf, of Af, which Af is the Afrikaans of mouth and language, the cutting edge, the finished and done, out of the game, or beside, which means benched, And then my net was coming up, which also means mind, M-Y-N-D, which is what goes around comes around. The bird and the dog's bark, a pardon, image, picture, imagination, shape, movie, film, and figure, to become. The bee comes the seed of everyone. Flower to flower, source pollinates, multiple nates, not mates, frontal optic lobes and butts or rear ends, many asses or donkeys. The Don, which is the Emperor, devils and angels, which is also D is 4, 0 is 15, and N is 14, which adds up to 33, which is the Christ consciousness or the Christ vibration. The Don is the Emperor, the 15 of devils, and the 14 of angels. Emperor being here, source, with devils and angels, which equals ultimately the Christ consciousness, the Christ keys where you see and where your butt leads. To swim in the backyard, the rice paddy fields, or leaf that's unforgettable, as Nate is a king of coal under pressure. At 6:35, the lovers and the wounded warrior, and surrendering. The underlying energy of the 49 in family circles, the 34 of ancestors exchange with the Knight of Wands with a love for life, getting your wish with arrows of love rushing in to uplift and lift up and inspire you to breathe again. The 52 of priorities of Big Bird. Big Bird is B-I God and B-I road or path. The Queen of Swords, as I whistled there, Lady Liberty, which comes up as Athena, aka Hercules, and her harvest. The 48 of the Eight of Cups and the Void. The retreat, rest, and pause in the Om of the symbol of the Om, the 30 that has a crown on top, which is the union with crown, purple moon. Going within, both sun and moon, as ladies lay down their hair and gents construct a home. The 14 of boundaries and auric keys, all about the AU here with the Om and gold. Set them daily, these auric keys, the intent of love, and naturally, the sun, through arcs and steeples, through the eyes of the two-eyed needle, where angels fear to tread, a higher love arriving at sunshine, where the valley of death exists no more. The shadows are gone, with the number 10 and a new dawn. Welcome back to not one who cots with bad housing, worthless tomcat, pointless in the dark, the shack, no need to coat or cover up in heaven on earth. Aquarius, the emotion of laughter, a capacity to laugh, caw like rock and roll, to laugh and caw like rock and roll. Here and where, who and how, pillars through, to escape, to survive, to overcome, perhaps superficially by the skin of your teeth, but completely you got in. So this is energy of saying you might have just passed by the skin of your teeth, but you graduated completely and you got in. The underlying energy of the 49 and the angel of love, the 2 of journey and the 29 of the world. Again, gifts of wishes for sweetheart. Her bags are packed halfway across the bridge with one last look back and then off to see the world from another perspective. More macro, let's say. Perhaps it's a world much smaller than hers, around the world in AD days, as he waits for her on the other side. A gift from the stars, perhaps a drop-in or drive-by. As 15 is appreciated, seeing the earth angel, the chaos. So again, from the devil's perspective, the 15, it is appreciated seeing the earth angel, the chaos, the shadow and liberty between, the earth angels and the sorrow and the golden wings to fly, triangular rainbows and flowers of life, and the 42 of the 2 of cups, the woman holding a coin, but it looks like a token of what she's been through, a square in a circle of gold, the square peg in a round hole, Pegasus and a round and around we go. The 34 of energetic exchange of the 3 and the 4 coming in together. Natural inside and out. Door to personal healing and happiness. With the 6 of the lovers contract evens out in the end. So again, we're back to poop and pee again. So at 7 o'clock, the double zeros backing up source energy of the 7, which is the key, the chariot, the boomerang, the 44 seeking beauty or sought at birthday, blowing out candles, with the 38 of the Queen of Cups, acceptance of love, as vines to the tree, the 5 of having cleared out the old or freed up some time and space, with patience and assurance that each season shall come and go, by letting go and going within, for freedom, hope, and happiness, with rainbow hair, Aquarius style, the way of the water, and humid air, and gulls. The 35 wounded warrior culminates their vision, just in time for new colors to come in. Peacock colors, as old ships have sailed, spotting a new one on the horizon, her eyes on. The 19 of shifting your energy, as above so below, to the 24 of the Queen of Wands and Omega, the feminine ego. Be best self always, 2 and 4, the spaces between, as mermaid and sea horse, Andromeda and Pegasus, ride the not so deep waters, their truth always just below the surface. The 50 of the 10 of Cups, potential gateway of the magic tree, a heart-based tree of southern lights, where all rise to the top. The 9 of the Hermits, perfect setting, a perpetual sun dawning on the horizon, her eyes on you, rays peeking out, a pretty picture of what's to come, what dreams may arise. As the maiden of the sea looks up to the earth mother, her darkness and her light, her feminine and her masculine, and she's all right with me. Fire signs lighten up air by way of water and earth, made of clay, inspiring ether, with expiration date unknown at 7:14, the key of that higher love. The sun shocks source and finds a way back to self, to open a window to nature inside out, and becomes the magic tree, the fairy tale gateway, heaven sent, fire and ice, furry and inner child-y, destined rays to contract in just the perfect setting. So the 2, the furry and icy, are destined to raise in order to contract in just the perfect setting, and that ended at 7:17 right there, which is the chariot and the star. Okay, that was a really good one. Okay, so now we have the read on the table for you guys. Make sure I'm looking at the right one here. Yeah, okay. So this one, the SIRIAN Starseed deck, was cut at 3:33. So there's that 369 energy again. It's 4:25 on the clock now, which is the Emperor and the Knight of Wands. Is just 48:44 here, which is the 8 of Cups and the 5 of Cups, which 8 and 5 are greased lightning actually. The 8 of Cups is that walking away within, and the 4 of Cups rather, not the 5. 44 is the 4 of Cups. But it's also the energy of 44 to 4-8, which is 44 is the survival energy, where 8 is the manifesting of dreams. So going from the 44 energy to 4-8, going within, and then 3:33, we cut this deck regarding, and I really put an emphasis on the physical union here today. And I pulled some of the mythic cards as well. And that was at 3:37 to 3:38, which is the King and Queen of Cups. And then I cut the mini deck for the first time at 3:39, which is the Knight of Cups. I finished clarifying at 3:45 to 6, which just came up earlier, right? We're talking about the 144. The 1 through 9 equals 45, so going into the next cycle with the 10 adds that 1, which is 46. And of course the 5 is the middle number between 4 and 6. So 345 also references 3D, 4D, 5D. And the major arcana here are the shadow, which is the devil, and the higher self, which is the high priestess. Before the read, we have the star, and after the read, we have the wheel, which is the great wheel in the SIRIAN STARSEED deck, and the Rider-Waite clarifiers here. And then you see the mythic deck in the back over there. So we had 5 pentacles, 2 cups, and 2 swords. There were no wands in the main cards anyway, which is 522. I didn't look that up, but if you'd like to, you can in Gematria. But 522 is the Hierophant and the Fool, but also the 52 of the Queen of Swords, and then the 2 of the Higher Self or High Priestess, but all of those energies came up a lot here. The King of Swords and the King of Pentacles are the main players in the read, as we have the Queen of Pentacles after the read, and as well as the King of Cups and Knight of Cups, because I pulled a few extra cards today. As far as the numbers, we had triple ones, double fives, and double sixes, and then all 4 eights came up. And it's funny because usually I list them straight up and down, but I didn't have room, so I had to list the eights bending over, so they literally make the number 7. So me circling those numbers comes up as 1117, as I ended that other read at 717 as well. So a lot of 1s and 7s coming up here. And then the 56 in the middle here, which is that sweet spot of 5 to 6, and also the 2 of Swords of being in your knowing and keeping your energy clear. So triple ones, really strong new starts here. The 55 of Excalibur, the Truth, the 66 of the Queen of Pentacles, and all 4 eights, which equals 32. All right, so we have the 8 of the Dance, of manifesting dreams and strength, the 88 of the 2 twins dancing side by side within their own masculine and feminine each, the third 8, which then knocks them over, and the 24, which is enlightenment, and then the 32, which is the journeyman who comes in with the good news. So we have and there's that graduation energy as well. So the code line here ended up being 170 from 8, 8, and 152. I'm trying to think what that root's called, what the street name is, 152. Because we had 522 and then 152. So the Queen of Swords is really coming up strongly here, is that 52. Right? Because we have 152 and then 52, 2. Right? It's all about the masculine and feminine around the 52, which is the 52 is the Queen of Swords. But it's also, remember, 5 and 2 squared reflect each other exactly. And when 5 is facing the 2, instead of the potion bottle, which is 25, the 52 comes up as the TV on a stand, the screen. Oh, that's interesting too. Someone was bringing up the screen as the the clearing of the screen to the other side. Referencing the veil. But I'm trying to remember, somebody was talking about that. But they called it a screen, literally what you are able to see. So here is now the TV screen coming up with the 52. And 25 is the Knight of Wands with the potion bottle. The gene came up with, rubbing the genie bottle, but as the gene. And again, the 24th pair of chromosomes coming up. And Lady Liberty. So the code line here was all about 170. So there's the 1s and 7s coming up again from 8, 8, and 152. And so I looked up 1117, and the first entry was the avatar of Mem. The second was the commencement of the age of Aquarius. And by the way, avatar of Mem was not only 1117, but the other number was 888, and then 148, which there's that 48 again of going within. The second was commencement of an age of Aquarius, and then I looked up 170, which was April, Moon, Florida, Mario. So there's Mario coming up. Latin, Pop, Ron, Lot, Red and Black, and Shaman. 152 came up as codes, chaos, alcohol, pandemic, Ganesha, shine, Hiram Abif, and ASAP. So the code lines came up as to love. There are a lot of definitions here of the different acronyms here, but to love, like mother and child, honey to the bee, the voice, the sound, so again, the sound coming up is very significant here, and the eye, the bridge to be or not to be, and a flash of light, an egg and each other, the 8 of C, or 8 offices perhaps, of course, or 8, of course, the dance, the manifestation of dreams, the dance of Christ consciousness, the whispering bench, arch, rainbow bridge, the 8, of course, and also coming up instead of Christmas was coming up as 8 miss. Oh, that's interesting too, the Mass. I was just looking up something today with 1 S versus 2 S's. So instead of Christ Mass coming up as the 8 Mass, the dance of the masculine and feminine, the dance of bridging, the infinite mass of moral men, the shadow of the 2 of Pentacles performer, the higher self, in the stirring of the crystal consciousness. The stirring of the crystal consciousness and the purge. So isn't that interesting that the movie The Purge came out, many years ago to foretell the purge that we're all going through. The life essence coming up here. The eye sees, the chakra system eye, which is the third eye, sees the infinite of the leap to the infinite mass. The 8 of Cups and the 8 mass, which is Ma's. Mass is mother's plural. So is coming up as the Christ and the mother, right? The Christ consciousness and the mothers, plural, of the 8 and the 8. The dance of Christ and the dance of the mothers. 1 of 2 for T, which T is also source, or time out, with 1 equal and congruent, coming to ace freedom, the dance and perform, mastering the hidden house of the balancing act and the higher self, the master of crystals, which is also Christ-like, or crystals, or purging, the mother's stir of the purge, stirring the pot, to enjoy taking a wife, to place intention on strong bridge and strong mothers acing freedom to dance with their higher self, the stir of the crystals. So we start with the 8 of Pentacles, upright, and the underlying energy here. I'll turn that a little bit that way. So the 8 of Pentacles on top with the mini cards. And then beneath the 8 of Pentacles is the Ace. Well, first was the Page of Wands beneath that. I try to find out if there's directional energy, who's it coming from. So the Page of Wands was upright with the Ace of Swords reversed. The 7 of Pentacles upright, the 8 of Wands upright, the Star upright, and the 6 of Pentacles reversed. And prior to the Page of Wands was the Page of Cups, separated or disappointed, with the 9 of Cups reversed, with the Page of Wands, perhaps not telling the whole truth. There could have been communication or document that was not received. Or this energy of having not gotten started yet. The Page of Wands in need of the truth, with the Divine Feminine in the E-Tower, in energetic exchange or arrows of love, with dreams not shared. The inequity of work in placing crystals on the steps, and how they should be aligned with the front door. The Page of Wands may be used. The Page of Wands may be used to women kissing their feet, handing over their fire, and now curious on how to break things up, or do yard work, or how to distribute rocks or crystals. A masculine plotting it out to do it just right. The Divine Feminine in the E-Tower with lots of exchange, but not the details of how to be laid, set, or arranged. The Sword in the Stone, Sophia's word and tone. 2 humans and the path to 1. How to break it up. The King of Swords upright post-war, or failure to achieve the objective, destined with the King of Wands reversed, or roll the ball over to the King of Wands reverse court. Perhaps the King of Wands is tired in a split or of divide and conquer mentality, or not giving or getting the whole truth. At 5 o'clock with double zeros of source backing up the 5 of the Hierophant, perhaps the Magician reversed here is insecure about the work and dumping it onto the Knight of Pentacles reversed, who may not be willing to budge here. With Aquarius and Libra upright and Gemini or Virgo reversed, perhaps Aries reversed, the Divine Feminine daydreaming with the hours of love, with the rock star who actually follows through with their work, getting their ducks in a row, perhaps to share the work, but the other then pulled out, or manipulator organized it and then dumped it on the Knight of Pentacles reversed, or working on skills before they sweat it out, or the Magician reversed with desires that are overwhelming to the Knight of Pentacles reversed, or Virgo unable to function, or unable to work full time. At 5:18 is the Hierophant and the Moon. As we had the Mythic deck over there, we have the underlying energy of the 33 in Chiron, and the 26 of Hermes, and the 28 of Eros. Where Eros is full of desire, sending messenger Page of Wands to the 33 Chiron, the wounded healer, or Sagittarius Centaur, standing up for themselves, as father and son assess apart to see how they can come together on this, a bunch of fiery bros, and then the father, number 1, the thinking man, and the 39 of the Knight of Cups, Orpheus, with faith, if he can't get her out of hell, then telling Grandpa Uranus he's telling Uranus then he's going to Uncle Hades to get the girl. Don't shoot the messenger. As the recent past is the Ace of Cups reversed, overwhelmed by work or being dumped on, or the quote-unquote star or prima donna not contributing equally, and the worker then rebels, losing the battle or competition, in a wake-up call to come clean or clean up their act, with the Emperor reversed and the High Priestess, or the Emperor reversed abusing his power over a quiet one, the secret keeper, or the Emperor reversed is the grandparent with an aide or nurse, or sister perhaps, taking care of them. It could be a losing battle here to keep up with calls, tiptoeing around the Emperor reversed and sister, perhaps a sister act there, with 532, the Hierophant and the Journey, perhaps the sisters acting like, to look good with the Emperor there, or Aquarius upright with Aries reversed, Pisces to Virgo upright may be taking care of the Emperor reversed, or being taken advantage of, as the King of Swords may be destined to win over the King of Wands reversed as far as integrity, or Aquarius or Star, or the Golden Child, is not sharing with the King of Wands reversed, perhaps Libra with fire. As the foundation is the Eight of Cups reversed, and number 28 being significant here in multiple places, which can be the twin flame energy. Uncomfortable walking away from incomplete work after the Ten of Swords is upright in a painful ending or ending pain, massage, or perhaps a pain in the ass, as the Nine of Pentacles upright sovereign may be dropping the act or facade for the Empress reversed who's at home, or the Nine of Pentacles drop the ball with the Empress reversed or breaking up the act, no longer juggling or performing together, or a Taurus could be lazy there. Or Nine of Pentacles upright with a lot of back pain, but you wouldn't know it, breaking patterns with lack, no more daily grind, or the Nine of Pentacles sovereign, or independent child perhaps, may be tripped and fell into the Empress reversed in lack, but with a stable home. A mother could be saying goodbye to her independent daughter or child. Perhaps there's a big party for them here. As the central energy is the Five of Pentacles reversed hermit in the Mary Magdalene cave, recovering or coming out, perhaps Virgo, High Priestess, after injustice with the Knight of Cups reversed, lover, detoxing the Queen of Wands upright, which remember is also Omega or enlightenment, not paying any attention at 551, which is the Hierophant and the King of Swords. As Libra and Gemini and Capricorn are here, only Gemini is upright. Perhaps the Knight of Cups reversed with Libra and Gemini in their chart, with a lot of affection for the Queen of Wands upright, who may have Capricorn in their chart. Challenged by the Two of Pentacles reversed and a need to surrender to all that is, the Divine Feminine of Pisces, Queen of Cups, may be breaking patterns or enjoying nature, heart-based, and marching to the beat of their own drum. Hermiting Pisces or Virgo may be uncomfortable coming out to the group who has exiled them, and the injustice of the Knight of Cups reversed emotional player with love in detox, the Queen of Wands upright, or fiery Gemini with Capricorn in their chart, between the Knight of Cups reversed and the Queen of Cups upright, or Libra and Pisces or Virgo, or Divine Feminine. So again, at 6 o'clock with double zeros backing up the Lovers, now is the shadow reversed, dumped by a group or dumped on by a group of males or players. So there's all of the mythic deck cards that came up there in the underlying energy were all like 5 different males, or at least 4. So the males or players, perhaps comfortable with work, but not so much with emotions or feelings, after investing so much heart and needing to walk away, recovering for an illness, an injury, or exile or destitution, the hermit coming out of the cave, challenged by the independent child, perhaps leaning on them, or the balancing act that may be an act or a facade, and a need to give it all up to source, or give it all up in order to source something. As Aquarius, King of Swords perhaps, could be another air sign, but coming up with Aquarius right there. The King of Swords conquered perhaps a Libra, King of Wands reversed, so he may be very fiery, who tripped up in front of the Empress reversed at home or a big celebration, or has taken off to help the Empress reversed do the 4 of Wands big party for the 9 of Pentacles independent, or 9 of Pentacles perhaps has Taurus in their chart. At 6:09, which is the Lovers and the Hermit, uncomfortable doing work. When Hermit could come out, the 6 and the 9 can also reference the messengers because it's Mercury of Gemini and Virgo. Uncomfortable doing work when the Hermit could come out, challenged by giving it all up to Source. The Queen of Wands could be Aries rising, and Virgo and Pisces definitely here. Perhaps Dark Knight or Scorpio in need of peace from anxiety. And now the shadow reversed, with the wicked web we weave. The Fool who's free from detoxing nightmares, stress, lack of sleep in the 5D connection, or finally got a break and got some rest, ready to make an offer on a house, or what is seen as freedom here. Dionysus with an offering in return. As the 10 of Cups reversed, the unhappy family or end to an emotional cycle, or disconnect or distance and not being able to see eye to eye or face to face with out of control children, or a need for vacation, or breaking down to get a babysitter or caregiver in order to get a break. Perhaps partners weren't able to agree on this situation, or finally paying out to get out of a relationship. At 6:20 is the Lovers and the Judgment, an inspired new beginning here. Home dancing, or with Leo receiving deliveries. As the Knight of Swords is upright, and so is the Queen of Swords, soulmates divide and conquer to get the job done, as the Knight of Swords to the past, and the Queen of Swords perhaps to Hermit for advice, in transition to a new beginning. As Mnemosyne and Eos then come up, as the Mother of Light, or Leo reversed and Scorpio upright, or kids needing to be inspired, or to go to a counselor, or grandparent perhaps, to get siblings to get along and bond, in a delivery service perhaps, or getting out the word, advertising, something the Knight of Swords upright and the Queen of Swords can get on the same page with. Perhaps going to the patriarch of the family of the 10 of Pentacles, family, business, or community on how to do this, right? Going to someone who's succeeded to get advice on how to get there. So soon here's the Ace of Pentacles in a groundbreaking event, as the Queen of Pentacles reversed may be keeping to themselves while recovering from awakening to the King of Cups upright and surrendering. Pisces or Capricorn reversed, perhaps Aries with Capricorn or Scorpio, with Pisces making the offer, while the Queen of Pentacles reversed may be recovering or letting Capricorn back in, realizing the King of Cups is surrendering to lead the way and weather the storm, to get over loss, regret, and the past, guilt and shame, as the twin flames see themselves as the King of Swords upright, taking a load off for dreams to come true, mastering their thoughts and words, and a bold move to be present or perhaps about a gift or their gifts. The Page of Pentacles with an opportunity or invite and not sharing. Perhaps they're uncomfortable about it or wanting to share but doesn't have enough for it to be fair, like they don't have as much as the other. So it wouldn't be an equitable partnership. Perhaps someone's uncomfortable in a divorce or in sharing alternative beliefs, coming together with the Page of Cups upright, or a pet or a child and a pet being strong, or the Page of Cups with friends over and mother to keep the pet from jumping on them. Maybe someone's not sure if they want to come over because they're afraid of dogs, or they know that this pet always jumps on them when they get there and they don't like that. That's 652. The Lovers and the Queen of Swords, or after dumping all the responsibilities for dreams, traveling or moving to the desert perhaps, as the Page of Pentacles is not sharing that they're uncomfortable with that, or the Page of Pentacles to move in, but apprehensive about the Page of Cups' pet. As Aquarius and Cancer and Leo are upright, Taurus reversed here, around the twins or how they're seen is the Ten of Swords upright. We have the Tower there too, so some kind of sudden event, which could be a painful event, or sudden ending to the pain, suddenly closing up, keeping cards close at the workplace, or about bad news or rumors, or silent treatment, immature talk, or a pain in the ass. Suddenly the King of Swords, child, Page of Swords reversed, shows up at work, keeping their staff away from them. Perhaps this child has a big mouth. The block here is the higher self leading the way through the heartache or the bad weather, the disappointment, in order to get over the sadness, the regret, and the shame. As the King of Pentacles upright, with the patient angel at the new moon, or being a patient angel at the new moon, received a passionate offer from one who ignored them in the past, in exchange with the Knight of Wands reverse player who sleeps around, or emotional player who's falling short and dumping emotional attachments or their dreams that have been dashed. With Sagittarius both upright and reversed here, and Cancer reversed, the King of Pentacles hermit, perhaps advisor to the Ten of Pentacles family, business, or community, may be dissatisfied with no choice but to stand up to the King of Pentacles, reaping rewards of the Page of Wands. As the King of Pentacles may be present at home or gifting a home to get attention or lead the group, destined with the Queen of Pentacles reversed, the King of Pentacles upright and the Queen of Pentacles reversed, perhaps that couple with a gifted house and a great reputation destined between them, or the Ten of Pentacles family, business, or community gifted the King of Pentacles, or upset the King of Pentacles, gifting the family house to the Queen of Pentacles reversed, who is over the King of Cups, hiding from the Knight of Cups reversed, or hiding with the Knight of Cups reversed. At 723, which is the Chariot and the King of Wands. So the Knight of Cups reversed is the one who went to Uranus, remember, or the father, the grandfather, or the godfather, about Poseidon, King of Cups, and fiery kids, the Knight of Wands reversed and the Page of Wands upright. As the Knight of Cups reversed, with the Knight of Cups, the Knight of Cups reversed comes up with as the Nine of Cups reversed as well, perhaps without a choice as the messenger, but to stand up to the group, right? Don't shoot the messenger. Maybe they were trying to. Maybe they need to stand up to the group by going to the King of Pentacles, but the King of Pentacles can't help because they gave away 3 of their 10 pentacles to the Page of Wands, his favorite, or because leadership was destined for them. And the Queen of Pentacles reversed over the King of Cups with a realization perhaps about them, and the King of Cups hiding with the Knight of Cups reversed, or with anxiety and or jealousy issues, or hiding from being rejected at 731, which is the chaos of ascension, or perhaps fighting over a car or a trip. Right? This also could be someone who gifted an education to one child but not the other, or gifted a house to one child or not the other, or in a divorce where people were living in a family house, perhaps the other person got the house who isn't part of the lineage of the family, right? Not directly anyway. So the Page of Wands is upright, seeking the truth or all the information on the Seven of Pentacles, rewards, with lots of back and forth, or researching star on how to get dreams after the Page of Cups, disappointment and not getting their way, with the Knight of Cups reversed defending them to the King of Pentacles, when the Page of Wands lied to get the Seven of Pentacles, which it could be that 7 of 10 Pentacles, right? By exchange with the star, or getting somebody famous on their side, or Aquarius getting away with not doing their fair share at work. At the Divine Feminines, or perhaps a build, with uncomfortable walking away from the King of Swords in a painful ending, dumping on the Hermit who's recovering, and challenged by dropping the ball with them regarding a groundbreaking event, and that could literally be breaking the ground with something, or an estimate or an offer of a new life, to higher self, to detox fire signs and Scorpio, with the King of Pentacles present at home, or waiting for his ship to come in. Home, stable, big event with lots of attention for Libra perhaps, and the Queen of Pentacles reversed, keeping to themselves. Okay, so that could be a big party for a child where the parents are splitting up, so they're not really associating with each other, but they're both present at the party. At 7:47, which is the Chariot and the Seven of Cups. And again, somebody could be expecting a car as a graduation gift, or a their independence gift, that kind of thing. The Queen of Pentacles reversed may be keeping to themselves in recovery, realizing that the King of Cups upright is hiding or anxious about the Knight of Cups reversed, or about offering love, and is scared to be love and make an offer. Inequity at work, dumped on in a losing battle with the group or competitors, or being dumped or overwhelmed, needing to walk away from an emotional investment as the Hermit comes out of the cave, challenged by breaking patterns of detoxing, with the King of Swords, the diamond in the rough, ending pain with higher self, the King of Pentacles present at home, waiting for surprise or party with lots of attention. Bye, sweetie. Have a good night. With lots of attention, good news, destined to lead the group to the Queen of Pentacles reversed, to get them over the King of Cups, hiding to reject them, or they're hiding from rejection at 7:55, which is the Chariot and the Truth. So the two kings too, like when you're dealing with two kings, it could be two men, but it also could be two people who have mastered that element, right? So the King of Pentacles, if it's not a masculine, it could be a feminine who's mastered her practical life. And the King of Swords could be someone who has mastered their thoughts and their words, or their intellectual life. So that is the messages for today. So where am I going to pull from? I'll pull from the Message of Love Oracle cards again here. As it's 1:17 on the clock, there's that 117 again. As it's turning to 1:18, but 52 just passed to the Queen of Swords. 4:54 on the clock, which is the Emperor and the Page of Swords, a message. And the Messenger, remember the Emperor would be the cardinal sign, and the Page of Swords would be the messenger on the other side of the three fixed signs, which comes up as the fire signs, as they're being kind of a pain in the butt in the middle, but they're very fixed, they're stubborn. Very interesting the way they're coming up. Okay, so for the twin flames, what is the takeaway from all this? And this one flipped right over, did a double flip. A leap of faith. It's safe to make the move you're considering. And there was a double flip there, so I don't know what that reference is. We also have denial, detach with love to clearly see the truth, and patience. Everything will unfold in divine timing. Okay, so there's a call for a radical acceptance, and surrender can help you let go and release. The bottom of the deck is obstacles. Unhealed wounds are blocking forward movement. So what still needs to come up? And a clue to that was there's a lot of fire going on of young masculine energy. So something related to that might need to come up. And actually I have 3 brothers, so maybe there's something up with my brothers in childhood. So we have abundance here. You've done all the work. Abundance flows to you now. And you just, unhealed wounds are blocking forward movement. So it's saying you've done the work, but there's just some fine-tuning going on right now. So there you go. Remember to drink your water, get your rest, your joy, your nature. Rise and be loved, guys. I'll see you soon. Have an amazing one, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.